Big exciting news on your afternoons, boy, as we finally have clarity. Mitch McConnell came out and said stimulus is going to get passed. Stimulus is going to get passed. First item of business is stimulus right away in the next few days. This is categorically incredible, great news. And in this recording, I'm going to go over why Wall Street analysts believe that the stimulus package will get approved imminently. Yeah, they didn't use that word. I just used You go to the dictionary, there's the word imminently, and you're like, oh, God, I hate that word. Please never say that word again. But in this case, it's going to be a good word because all analysts are now saying the stimulus package is coming right around the corner. Not after January, not after this afternoon, but in the next few days. This is incredible, great news, and this is a massive recording this afternoon of Purple. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Purple, part of our 2-hour programming block here on Afternoons LALATE that started with The Check, then Purple. Coming after this is the debut of our new series, Being Mitch, and then following is our hit show, Street and Stimulus. I'm going to have breaking details all day long about the move to get stimulus out right away, now that election results have clarity for some extent, and this is incredible, great news. I didn't think it was going to be this fast, so we would hear this type of clarity, but we do. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do. Tell your friends and neighbors, share this video on Facebook, share it on Twitter. Tell your friends to follow this channel because no one else is delivering this type of content. 5 hours of programming every day to get you financially secure, the best community out there where we foster love and support to one another and keep everyone motivated and positive in a spirit that no one else has. Also, like this video. It really helps so the video appears higher in the rankings. We've been doing well today. In this video, I'll be going over what analysts are saying about stimulus in the next few days, separate and apart from Mitch McConnell's comments. His comments come up next in the video McConnell versus in the next video called Being Mitch. In the analyst reports today, they say that stimulus is coming right away, but it won't be the stimulus that you have seen from the Temple Doom. It will be slightly different, and this is why Purple Power has to step up. Purple usually is in the evenings, but I'm going to give you a push to the Purple Power that follows this channel to make sure you are ramped up with the fingers and on social media, sharing these videos and tagging politicians because this is going to be an incredible push. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here this afternoon is that analysts on Wall Street believe that stimulus is coming right away. And when I mean right away, they're not saying after inauguration, they're saying now. This is amid news that the Republicans have believed to have held control of the Senate. I had told you before election night that I was not going to predict for you the outcomes of stimulus based upon the White House, the Senate, the House. But in my back of my head, I certainly knew there was one scenario that was key. And 1 or 2 times I let it slip out when I was recording. And that was if the Senate stayed Republican, her way or the highway would turn into the road or the toad. And that is what has happened. Nancy Pelosi's hope that she could have exactly what she wants in a $3.4 trillion bill reduced to a $2.4 trillion bill, where about $800 billion to $1.5 billion of it is nothing to do with you, does not go to the American people, does not stimulate the economy. In fact, it has nothing to do with the economy. It has something to do with the operations of state and counties and cities, that ultimately that would fail, and that there would be a turnaround and a referendum against it. Last night, there was. Seats for stimulus, you won. The viewers of this channel, who I named affectionately Purple Power, won last night because seats for stimulus was a big winner. Both Republicans and Democrats in the House and Senate fell, who were incumbents, because they did not deliver your stimulus. And guess what? The man who was under fire the most about stimulus, Mitch McConnell, hours after his win last night, says the first thing he's going to do is put stimulus for a vote and get it done in the next few days. And it'll be much more robust than anything he has done before. So it's not going to be that $500 billion junk, but it's also not going to be $3.4 trillion of junk either. And so what will be in there? I have my opinions, and I'll give you those shortly, but let me go over what the analysts on Wall Street are saying, and they're generally correct. A new analyst, Gardner, said in a statement obtained by CNBC today, actually a written statement, it says a stimulus package is possible, maybe probable, but it'll likely be a smaller deal than in a blue wave scenario. He's saying that now, if the Senate stays Republican, you would see a smaller stimulus package. We think it will be under $2 trillion. This is incredible, great news. Why? Because this is exactly what the Purple Power has been arguing for next to 4 months or 3 months. The Problem Solvers bill was at $1.5 trillion. Even if you ramp up the Problem Solvers bill to put bigger stimulus checks in there, an extra round of stimulus checks is only another $300 billion. That's 1.8. There's enough money in the Problem Solvers bill to give you what you deserve. The Problem Solvers bill was 1.5 with 2 stimulus checks, where the second one was in March. I mean, even if we move that second check up closer now and put them really close together, like one right now and then one in December, or one right now and one in November, this is November, one at the end of November, then that would get us to the end of the second stimulus package period, and then do another package with more checks. Or you just throw another $300 billion into this and get 3 stimulus checks into the Problem Solvers bill. You also need some money for hazard pay, or for things that would mirror hazard pay. We don't have to call it hazard pay so long as it functions as hazard pay. Bottom line is we can come in at $2 trillion. Absolutely could. And that would not require $400 billion for state and local. Federal support for unemployment benefits is expected to continue, says the CNBC report. While Democrats have advocated for $600 per week, Republicans are in the $300 to $400 range. Unemployment support provided through the CARES Act is expected to expire on December 31st. That's what I've been reporting. This includes PUA expiring on December 31st. And the pandemic, and FPUC, which allowed states to provide 13 more weeks of unemployment checks. It remains to be seen how they would deal with this. Gardner says, I do think you could see direct payments, continued direct payments. Oh, wow. Did you? This is a cold read, as you can tell. You saw my eyes sort of pop up when I heard the word continued. He's basically saying consecutive or continued more. He didn't say another direct payment. He said continued direct payments. Hashtag MSC. Hashtag MSC. You may see some enhanced unemployment just at a lower level. Then Bill Hoagland, Senior Vice President, Bipartisan Policy Group, and a former Senate staff member, says he says things could happen. I would look to see where things stand the first quarter of next year. I don't sense it right now in the December timeframe. His remarks were made before Mitch spoke today, so you have to sort of throw away his remarks. So with that, Oh, and then there's another key date. Don't you love a cold read? When I'm reading the comments, when I'm reading these quotes on air, sometimes I don't see the reaction until I get to the line. We have the government funding bill due December 11th. So guess what? That is usually the reason why they get stimulus packages done, because there's a government funding bill around the corner. So yes, mark that on your calendar. December 11th is the deadline, but we're not going to wait to December 11th to get stimulus relief out. Come on, folks. That's just too late. So what do I think, before I deliver you McConnell's remarks on the next video after this? How much stimulus do I believe, and what is the most likely range? And this is based upon my dealing with Mitch McConnell's narratives over the last 5 months, based upon the results of last night, how Senate Republicans and Democrats both lost seats if they were incumbents, how millions of Americans were pissed for the inability to provide them stimulus, and that how stimulus really was one of the number one issues in the polling booths in the precincts last night, more so than even the handling of COVID. This is what I think. First, FPUC, retroactive. Yes, I think FPUC will be retroactive. I think Purple Power needs to push it more retroactive all the way to when it expires in late July. Weekly benefits of FPUC, categorically not going to be $600 a week. No way, Temple of Doom, not going to be $600 a week. Is it going to be $300 a week? I don't think so. Is it going to be $400 a week? You know what? Lindsey Graham got reelected last night, and Mitch McConnell got reelected, and both have at other time and separate times said that they would support the Problem Solvers bill. That was $450 a week with $600 a week thereafter. 8 weeks at $450, and then 5 weeks at $600, if I'm saying it correctly, with some calculations to it. So I think that is very likely. And, it's sort of one of those days to start setting a fruit basket to the problem solvers and say, you know what, can you write a bill finally, problem solvers? Stop with the press releases and write a bill, and let's just pass the problem solvers bill with some modifications and get it done right now. Stimulus checks. Yes, a stimulus check. Are these people adverse to giving you a bigger stimulus check? No. Have I ever heard anyone being adverse to giving you a bigger stimulus check? No. Mitch McConnell on stimulus checks. He has always said he's going to give you a stimulus check, and then every time the bill shows up, it's not in there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But everyone in his party, even the cheap Republicans, want to give you a stimulus check, and a decent one. No one doesn't want to give you a stimulus check. I just don't know why it disappears and comes back in. Multiple stimulus checks? Yes, I think it's likely. Then hazard pay. I'm worried about hazard pay because it's a big ticket item. Anything that looks like a big grant, I'm worried about. I'm worried about that Lifeline grant that's $50,000. I'm just like, that just sounds like a ticking time bomb, right? That number's just too big. Rent aid, I'm worried about how big rent aid would be. I know you're going to get, I believe you're going to get rent aid, but I'm worried about how big the amount is. Anything where you see it's a check landing in someone's hand for $10,000, I just sort of sense nervousness from Republican Senate. 5,000? No, I don't see a problem with 5,000 or 4,000 or 6,000, but 10 or 50? Yeah, I think you do too. This is like, those Republicans are coming back, and they didn't want to give you anything before. Now you're asking for a $50,000 grant check? No. CDC grant? Yes. And then all the loan instruments, absolutely. PPP, EIDL, Main Street, absolutely, categorically yes. So how soon could you get this stimulus? And how fast could this turnaround time be? And this is sort of the thing that you want to smile about. Mitch has an ability as the majority leader of the Senate to do things very fast. And so when Mitch McConnell wants to do things very fast, he absolutely can do them literally overnight. And you certainly saw that with Judge Barrett. I mean, you just blinked and it was done. So when you're talking about stimulus, he can get stimulus done within 3 days. He literally can get, and I got to tell you, he writes quickly, or someone on his staff writes quickly. They go home on a Friday, and by Monday the bill's written. Where's the Temple of Doom? She's like, check back at me. My watch is set. Check back with me 3 years from now. The bill will be written. It's like Mitch gets it written in like 4 seconds, and it's done, which is very refreshing. So yes, you could get this done instantly. How quickly could this be approved? It would be. It could start in the Senate, then go to the House, and then come back to the Senate, and then signed by the president. Would the president not sign it? Oh, God. I really do think he would sign it. Would the president, if he loses in the next few days, not sign a bill that is passed by both the Senate and the House for stimulus relief? Boy, you'll never see protests in this country until you saw that moment. I just think he'd have to. I really do. Let me answer some of the incredible questions and comments to today's video before we get to Being a Mitch, which is coming up in its debut right after this video. These are comments and questions before election results last night. Paul Coomer, give a thumbs up if you think LATE's a great motivational speaker. Well, thank you. Rita Swit, the American people need another stimulus check now. We've been waiting for months. It's time to get it done. Barbara, LATE, does the government ever hear us? Yes, they've heard us on all these major things. When the president co-signed the Problem Solvers bill, when Steve Mnuchin co-signed the Problem Solvers bill, seats for stimulus, when Mark Meadows came back and says we're going higher on the stimulus check, the $1,200 is not enough. That was all the viewers of this channel. Absolutely. Love you, Purple Power. Shake them up, LLA. Well, thank you. Cherie Whitehead. Good evening, Purple Power and LLA. Lots of love and prayers that everything turns out. Something has told me that Trump won't sign the executive order. You've been a godsend and explaining everything, how everything works. Well, I appreciate that. Day Johnson. Hello, Daddy. Hello, all. Fingers crossing for the best outcome tonight. That was referring to election night. Stimulus future wise. Lenny Hernandez. Stay focused, Purple Power family. We have power. Brenda Thompson. LA, Purple Power family. Please stay safe this evening. David Ewell, we need the stimulus package now. Purple Power. Teresa North, Purple Power family, and LA. I'm praying so hard that the peace will come to this country and that Wall Street actually get us a stimulus. Amparo Gutierrez, I'm so happy to be here with the Purple Power family. Kathy, hello everyone. May everyone also feel so good. Good afternoon, Mr. Purple and the Purple Power family from Florida. Richard Hendrickson, so much good. We could be with big stimulus. I'm in deep right now. I need it to happen quickly. Dan Elliott, you are amazing in many ways. You have the favor of God. I would ask everyone with ears to hear you pray for you. That's wonderful, Dan. That's really, really kind. I thank everyone that sent me personal messages for thanking me on the depression and holidays video. It apparently really touched a lot of people. No one talks about depression as though it's a taboo subject. And certainly when we're dealing with financial issues that cause depression, or election issues that cause anxiety, or holiday issues that cause depression, it's important that we discuss them, because when we discuss them, it feels more open. And last night's recording of 4.5 hours, I can't believe I did that, 4.5 hours of a live recording with one stop, I think, or maybe it was 2 stops, was inspired by a viewer's comment that said, I think we need a party. And I said, you know what? I think we do, so that no one feels alone and quiet and nervous or anxious or stressful about election results, which really you should not be stressful about. I mean, it's not like you have her hairstyle. That's when you would be stressful. April, people that work at the shelter with the homeless people should get hazard pay too. They should. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below, and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Coming up next is the series debut of our new show, Being a Mitch. And then following that is Street and Stimulus, which you have to tune in for. That is always a big popular show, and it's been coming up late in the upload times. If you're not, go to the front channel, subscribe because we're gonna get through this together. And you saw how last night we became a family, and we've always had been a family, but when there's 120,000 people and 3,000 people every 5 minutes chatting away, we really had fun. Also, like this video. Coming up next is the series debut of Being a Mitch. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay alive for more.